What's up, Gene?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. This is take 2. We had a little bit of a mishap, so we restarted. The sad thing is that all the gold is now gone. We can't recreate that, so we'll be shooting for silver this time.
Yeah, that's fact. That's
But the
true.
good thing, I guess, is that some other people, like YouTube or podcasters, they'll talk about how they lost an episode or a video. And I always like, how is that even possible? Like, if that's your job, like, how is that possible? Well, I definitely know, because I have some expensive gear. We've recorded 6 or 7 episodes without a hitch. And then our last one, which we recorded at a car show, probably not going to be, well, I might upload it, but it's going to be probably shortened because we had a problem. We had a write error. And actually, it might not even be uploaded at all. But then we were probably 15 minutes into this conversation. And then we also had a write error. So reformatted, restarting. So hopefully we're going to be going good this time. But now I know how people can have issues because stuff just happens, especially when you're dealing with electronics.
Yep.
That stuff happens. So anyway, cool beans. All right, so let's talk about what's been going on in your world.
So since we did the last car show, what have we done? I've done 2 track days. So I did the Cadillac V Club / Hooked on Driving track day here at the Ridge. That was an awful lot of fun. I think we had 13 or 14 people come out, met some new ones, which is great. I think we met 2 or 3 new people that showed up.
Yep.
So Darcy, the new guy, I can't remember his name. Ooh.
I
And
know.
then what's his name? Roy.
Roy.
Right,
from Oregon.
I was we were joking around at the first go around of the podcast how Roy pretty much pulls out of his garage or pulls out of the trunk of his ATSV an entire kit. Probably could rebuild the motor with everything he's got. I mean, he's got everything for any contingent.
Yep.
Need to do brakes? Cool. He's got a brake job for you. You need an alignment? He'll probably figure that one out too. He's got everything, and he's done this before. Everything's
Yeah, you
placed
can tell he's done it
perfectly.
before.
Like, this is a thing he does every time he goes to the track.
Yep.
The funny thing is, I had an ATSV in the past. I never, ever did that. I mean, I drove the car to there, tracked it all day, drove it
You
home.
drove it home? Yeah, he's got the setup.
He has the setup. Like, he's probably planning on driving harder than I did. And I drove hard. Really, really cool to meet everybody. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, good.
And then we did Track Night in America a week later. Not even a week later. So
Couple days.
Hooked on Driving was on a Friday.
Yep.
And then Wednesday we were back for the Track Night in America. And that was just a tremendous amount of fun. Makes me happy when the Mustang that we don't like, who never lets anybody, you can catch up to this Mustang, this white Mustang. You know, you catch up to them, they're supposed to let you pass, so we'll catch up to him. He will not give the point by, so we'll back off and then catch him again, proving I can catch you at will.
I have a story about the Mustang.
Yeah, he never lets anybody. I think he let me pass one time. At some point, I got so frustrated one time that I had to pull off to the hot lap.
Oh, yeah.
And then wait.
give a
'cause
buffer.
Yeah, I got to be a buffer. I eventually caught him again. He wasn't there, so we had a better time. Oddly enough, that one car just annoys everybody, and no one can stop the guy from being a tool. But we had a lot of fun. That was really, I love that track. And I'm not trying to really, I don't believe F1 is there to recruit me.
They're not hiding in the bushes.
No, I don't think they are.
No,
Yeah, I
no
don't think,
spy scopes.
I don't think Toto's there.
Nope.
You know, Christian Horner, nope, not there.
No.
Lewis, nope, not. No one's looking to see. So for me, I'm just out there trying to have fun. I want to maximize and get better at every turn. There's some complexes that I'm really good at. Some that I still, after all these years, I'm still not consistent at. So I just want to be consistent and have fun. What about you?
Well, for HOD, I don't really have anything to add. It was a great event. Shout out to Dan. He runs a really good event. It's really cool. They gave us little Hot Wheel Cadillac cars.
That's a cool little.
That was a cool little
Yeah.
thing to recognize
Extra touch.
the V Club. So shout out to Dan on that one.
Which one did you choose? Did you choose the CT4 or did you get the GTP?
No, I got the GTP.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I don't know where I put it though.
Oh, I do. It's up in my.
I probably put it in with the other ones, but I don't think I've seen it since.
Oh.
I gotta
Yeah,
find it.
I've got it in my. I've always threatened about taking all of my Hot Wheels. I've probably talked about this in the previous podcast. I probably have a couple thousand Hot Wheels, and I've always thought about, man, it would be cool to take an entire wall and just put them all out. But then I'm like, man, I'd probably get tired of it after a while, and then I have to take all them back down and put them back in boxes. So it was fun collecting them while I did, but now it's like, gosh, what do I do with all these Hot Wheels? So
Sell them and buy more tires.
yeah, that's probably what I need to do. Because I could probably buy I know I could buy a complete set of tires if I sold all my Hot Wheels. Because I probably have some expensive ones that are in that collection. I've been doing it for so long. Okay, so back on the track night. I've actually done 2 track nights.
That's right.
I've
'Cause I
done
didn't
2.
do the last one.
Yeah,
because
you didn't do the last one. But on the one that I went with you, I did 2. We get 3 sessions. We're running in the advanced group. Did 2, and I came off, and then I noticed that the front driver's tire starting to show the cord through a little bit. I don't want to go back on track. Once I see a cord, then I'm done. I don't want to take the car on track. I don't want to push it. I don't want to have a blowout, damage the wheel, or worse, cause me to rotate or something. So I'm like,
and your name isn't John or Full Send John, who sees cords, and he'll say, "Yeah, I got at least another session."
I think we can get one more.
One more session. Let's do this. Full Send John, man. Gotta love Full Send John.
New nickname for you. #. I said, I'm not going to go out. She's like, hey, take my car out. I was like, really? And you're like, yeah, I'm good. Take my car out. So I was like, all right, I appreciate it. I probably said I'll take it easy, but people that know me, I say that, but it's hard for me to take things easy. It is. It's hard for me to do that. So I go out there. I am taking it kind of easy, but I'm pushing it. The fact that Gene trusts me enough to drive the car on the track without damaging it, I appreciate that. It shows he has some confidence in my abilities. I don't know why, but he does.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I get out there and I'm driving we usually get about 8 or 9 laps, usually, depending on your times. The first 2, I'm kind of just taking it easy. I'm in the back of lined up in the back of the grid, and I'm taking it easy because I haven't driven Blackwing on track since October of last year when we were down at Spring Mountain.
Blackwing experience.
The experience. So it's been a while since I've driven that. So I was taking it a little bit easy, but I was hitting the stupid rev limiter all the time because I'm used to almost a 9,000 RPM, and yours goes 65.
Yeah.
And so I kept hitting that stupid rev limiter and, cutting the power. And so I finally realized what I was doing because I don't really know the sound of the engine at that levels when you're pushing it hard. So I've been like, okay, I need to use the TAC so I can use visual and audio. So probably by the 3rd or 4th lap, I'm starting to figure it out. I'm starting to push it, not like I do in my car, but I'm pushing it harder. And maybe by the 5th lap, I'm doing what I felt comfortable at a faster pace doing, but I'm looking at my lap times and I'm like, crap, man, I'm like way off of Gene. I'm probably, from my fastest time, I'm probably 15 seconds slower than I am in my car, but I'm at least 5 or more seconds slower than Gene is in his car. And I remember, because the PDR records your audio. Does it
Yeah.
even? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's and I remember saying to myself,
If you set it up to do so.
oh, okay. Is
And
your setup?
Yeah,
Okay.
whenever I go to the track, I always turn on the audio.
Okay.
When I leave the track, I turn it off.
You
Because
turn
if
it
I
off.
got somebody in the car, I don't want to record our conversation.
Okay. I don't know if you listened, but at one point I was talking out loud to myself, forgetting that I'm on PDR. So I gave Gene a compliment. So, if you haven't seen that, make sure you just delete the recordings. You don't need to listen. But I was like, man, you do really good. I'm talking to myself out loud in the car, saying that Gene does a really good job because it's far different than my car. And when you're pushing it at that limit, or you're trying to go a lot faster, it's such different dynamics than what I'm used to. And so
it's a heavier car. It's a taller car than your Corvette.
Yep,
Z06.
it is.
Doesn't wind out as much.
Does
not have the same power.
You can drive it a lot faster than I can drive it, and so that was cool. So that, I came off the track early. I didn't continue because I wasn't going to be able to push it harder. I didn't feel comfortable pushing it harder, so I came off. So that was a great day. Had a lot of fun.
So we're going to go ahead and end the podcast now that he's given me a compliment. I think it is time to go ahead and say goodbye, good night, and see you next week. Because I'm not going to get another one the rest of the episode.
That's the one for the month. You get one per month, so that's it.
Why so many per month? That's crazy.
Well, I'm generous. The other track night that you didn't go to, the Mustang. So I'd completely forgot about that until you said the Mustang, and it reminded me. So last year, the Mustang guy, we're out there, and I'm faster today than I was back then. Back then, I was still faster than the Mustang guy. Still running in the advanced group, this guy in the Mustang didn't want to let me pass. And so this is the last time I'll back up. So last year when we were out there, this guy's Mustang, and if you catch up to the person and they're on their tail, even if you don't get the blue flag, letting you know someone's trying to get by you, then you should be looking in your mirrors and you let them go around you. But this guy wouldn't, and the rules of the track are that you, even though you can do pass by anywhere, you still have to get a point by.
Yeah.
And he wasn't given a point by, and I'm like, I'm all over this guy's bumper for probably a lap, not just a couple corners, but at least a full lap, and then some more. And so this guy, what do people like to do? What do some people do if they feel they're being pushed beyond their boundaries? One is that you back off, right? You don't feel comfortable. What's the other thing?
Floor it and go harder.
Floor it and go harder. So this guy starts pushing it, and he comes out of the thumb and loses control of the vehicle, goes all four off the vehicle, cloud of smoke, or dirt,
Right in front of you.
Right in front of me. I had it on recording, and I talked to you afterwards, and
To him?
To him, he didn't even acknowledge that he's holding me up. He's like, "Oh yeah, I just got a little hot coming out of the corner, and I just went one tire off." And I'm thinking, "No, you went all four off. I have it on recording. I saw you." He's like, "Oh yeah, I just went one tire off. It was fine." Okay, so I know the type of person this is. Fast forward.
Yes, it's called stupid.
Well, I'm not going to say that.
No, I will.
I don't know him, so I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, you're nicer than me.
So fast forward to this last session that we had. He's out there again. He pulled up in the trailer, and I was like, oh, man. I'm now getting into the practice that I go up like 10 minutes before grid because I want to be first off. I want to go out, get a warm-up lap, and then try to set my hot laps. And then after about 3 laps, I'm catching up to traffic anyway, so I want to be out front. But I catch up to Mustang guy. And I'm like, oh, man, please don't run off the course. I don't want you to damage your car.
Sure.
I'm all over this guy again. He is not getting out of the way, And I'm like, I'm getting super
Are you
close.
flashing him at all?
Oh, you know what I should do?
You should start
I
flashing
never thought about that.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. Yeah, good. Thanks for that. So, but I'm all up in his business. Like, if he slammed on his brake, I'd probably rear end the guy because I'm really getting close to him. Finally, after again, open passing anywhere just requires a point. Finally, after at least 6 corners, so not a full lap, but more than half a lap, he finally pulls over and then lets me go. And then he floors it to try to keep up to me. I think after 2 corners, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm just faster on the corners than the Mustang is. And then I finally leave him. But I was like, man, I can't get away from this Mustang guy. I don't want to be around you. I don't want to be around you. So that was great. So that was 3. We did 3 track days, 2 SCCA and HOD. So that was good. I still haven't broken my best at the Ridge. I'm so close. I'm like 0.16 away. Super close.
Breaking 150?
Breaking 150.
I thought John said you went to 149 last time.
The Catalyst will take all of your runs together.
Oh, it does the best of.
It does the best
yeah,
of.
okay.
So
I was your optimal map.
my optimal lap was 148.
Okay.
If I could...
So you did it.
No.
In aggregate.
I would never claim that.
No,
so
I know you can't. I know that.
If I can put all those things together,
Yeah.
then conceivably I could be down to 148.
It's possible. So now you know what to work for.
Well, this also last time... Do you know the guy that we always talk to there? He works for SCCA.
The bald head guy with the
yeah. I always forget his name.
Me too.
He also used to be a Mustang, but he's driving a 300 now. I think he's got a 300 out there. Anyway, super awesome guy. Love him. He's awesome. So he's out there telling me, he's giving me some coaching, some pointers, and he's like, hey, I see you when you're going down straight away. You're putting your...
Oh, I heard that. I was there for that.
You're putting your brakes on at 3. So this last time, I'm like, all right, he said, don't put the brakes on until you get to 2. And I'm like...
That's a level of commitment, though.
It is, because...
speed, you're doing what, 160?
155.
Okay.
So
that's a level of commitment.
It is. So I'm like, man, he's like, you're fine. You can carry the speed. I'm like, I know the car can, but I feel weird about it, right? He's like, all right, you just do it. So this last time when we went with the Mustang guy, I get out there, I do 1 warm-up lap, and then the next couple laps before I get to traffic, I start practicing that. By the end of the day, I'm comfortable now. I let off at 3, so I'm not braking, but I let off at 3, but I apply it 2. I'm definitely...
Are you full braking 100%, or are you... Trail? What are you doing?
You know what? I haven't looked at the PR to see, how many bars, but I'm probably at least half.
So you're grazing the brakes just to slow you down, keep some front.
And I'm hitting that turn at about 95.
Okay.
I'm hitting the turn. He's like, you can hit the turn at 104. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's only 7 miles an hour. I know. So I'm working up to it. But the fact that now I'm like, all right, I'm braking at 2 now. I'm not doing it at 3. I'm braking at 2. That adds a little bit of time. And that the Garmin, the Catalyst said the same thing. You need your brake. You're faster when your braking is 20 feet shorter or less, right? Hopefully, I'm going to keep working on that.
That turn 1 vexes me. Yeah, I use the word vexes because
Where is that word from?
I have no idea. My limited vocabulary. That one really does vex me because I know I could take it faster in my car. One thing we learned last Hook on Drive, and so a year ago when we did our first one with him, Paul told me, he said, Gene, here's what I want you to do. I want you to brake before you get to the 3rd cone.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a really weird thing. He said, I want you to brake, not hard, just apply a little bit of brake pressure, get some forward bite, and then I want you to start steering in, and you're going to angle into the apex from farther out. So once you get your car straight, I want you to go back full throttle. So you're brushing the brakes to get a little bit of forward bite as you're turning in, get your car pointed right at the apex, and then I want you to mash the throttle again. And the very first time I did it, I was close to 100 miles an hour in turn 1. But I had to brake earlier, change my angle, because if I brake way up here, the steering angle is a lot more.
It is sharper.
So here it's a lot shallower steering angle, and I'm hitting it not perfectly straight, because as soon as you hit the apex, you have to start turning, right? Because you got a turn 2 coming, like 98 feet away.
Yep.
But I hit it at almost 100 miles an hour. Very first time.
I haven't seen that technique before.
I do it now.
Okay.
But I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to I can hit around 90 miles an hour consistently, where before. So it's about 5 or 6 miles per hour faster if I do it that way than waiting till 3 or 2 to then brake and then turn, because the car's got more body roll than your car does.
Yeah, it does.
So I found that if I do it that way, I am more consistent and I'm faster. So that's really all I want to do is get more consistent. But it is scarier. Taking turn 1 at that kind of speed, even with the great car that I have, it's still a pucker moment for me.
Well, because I don't want to go off coming to turn 2.
I know.
And you can't make it, right? I don't. That's the thing that I'm always concerned about, especially since they, the other guy with the Z06 cracked his ceramic wheel or carbon fiber wheel from going off. So I mean, there's always stuff to work that, and then I've got to keep working the carousel. Man, I've got to get more speed. I've just got to work on carrying more speed around that turn.
On that turn, I'll generally be around 55 to 58.
Yep.
But I've seen ATSVs do it at 65.
I know it.
So I know you can do faster. I don't like this. I don't like the squealing at that speed, because it's a very flat turn. There's no camber in it at all. When I get there, I keep thinking to myself, man, I'm going to lose the tires. It's going to come around on me, because I don't really have very many nannies on at this point. And it's in my head that I know I could do 65 and go a lot faster, but I'm always worried about the tires, and it's probably good that I'm overly safe there. I know I can go faster, but what's the reason for doing it? Just because ego. For me. Yeah.
I mean, it is that's all it is just to satisfy for me, it's the curiosity of how fast I can go and still be safe. I don't want to be on the ragged limit. There's some guys out there that really push it hard. And I have no desire
like Mustang
to do that.
Boy.
Although he doesn't think anyway. The other topic I'll mention that we did is around that I did, I guess. Well, we both did. Is I got back to motorcycle. There will be another episode. I think I mentioned this before, but there'll be another episode where I'll probably talk about how I transitioned out of motorcycles into cars. And there's that's just probably an entire episode just in that. I went back to motorcycles 2 weeks ago now, and we went down to an event down at Washougal. There's a couple of guys in the neighborhood that do it, and they've invited me last year, and I wasn't able to for whatever reason. And then I had a buddy that wanted to do Washougal, and there's another one. There's another one up here coming up in the next couple months. And he wanted to do that. So I'm like, all right, well, he wants to do it. Got a couple of guys in the neighborhood that want to do it. Yeah, let's go. The buddy that was going to do it with Washougal, he wasn't able to for just some reasons. He wasn't able to do it. I still want to. I'm like, I got all excited about, getting back in there. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to. And Gene's like, all right, when we going? I'm like, oh, okay, you're coming too. He's like, yeah, I've never seen this world. So it's great. You came down with me, and it was on a Saturday. and we went down there.
Plus,
and
I figured you'd be so worried you needed someone to hold your hand and talk you through.
I needed someone to pat me on the shoulder and kind of,
You'll be okay.
pump me up.
You know how to ride a bicycle.
Training wheels. So we get down there.
I like the pink basket in the front of your motorcycle.
Hey, and the horn.
And the horn.
Squeak, squeak. It's been 3 years since I'd been on a bike, and the bike had not been ridden since that point in time 3 years ago. And so got it out, dusted off, and I don't even know if I told you this, but when I took the bike out to get it ready, this is like on a Thursday, I think. When I pulled the bike out, it cranked up right away. I was surprised. It had crappy old gas in it. It cranked up. I drained it and put some fresh stuff in it. But I noticed that the front wheel, something looked weird. So I go down there. The incident that happened the last time I was on the bike, there was gravel shoved all around the rim and the tire. I had to I'm like, I can't ride like that. Pop the tire off. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just replace the tube just to be safe. I don't know it probably will pump up. I mean, I tested it. It pumped up fine. But I'm like, let me just get a brand new one. So I went down and I bought two just to be safe. Bought two tubes. Came back. Now, mind you, it's been 3 years since I've changed tires. I used to be pretty quick at it. Man, if you don't... just like anything, it's a skill. If you don't use it, you lose it. Get tube in, get the tire all the way in, get everything set. I didn't check it, mounted it back, then I pumped it up. It's not pumping up. I pinched the tube, putting it back in. I was so mad. I had to take that sucker back off. So I'd already mounted everything. It was ready to go. Took it all back off, pull off the tube, pull the tube out, put the new... This time I'm like super duper careful, like really careful not to pinch it. I had like 4 tire irons. I'm being really careful. Get it back on, mounted, good. So anyway, now we get down to Washougal. And now, I had told Gene this, but I'd also told the buddies here in the neighborhood, I am going to take it easy because it's been 3 years. Gene just rolled his eyes at me.
Very much so.
I said I was going to
see my optic nerve. That's how bad the eye roll.
I said I was going to take it easy. Honestly, I intended to, 100% intended to, because it's been a while. I can't afford to have something happen again like happened last time. I definitely intended to take it easy. Then you get up there on the start line, you get out the bikes, you get your adrenaline, you start smell the gas mix, the gas oil mix. You start to hear all this stuff.
Hold on. You're missing the whole piece that no one else knows about. And I didn't even bring this up to you, but I found this interesting. So. He when he parked the truck and he pulled off the bike, he starts putting on all of his gear. I found it incredibly interesting, and it started making me a little worried because every time he put something on, he's like, "Oh, that piece is broken. Man, that's okay. Oh, this piece is broken. This body armor piece. Oh, this thing doesn't strap on over here. That's okay. I'll just tape it. I'll just tie it together." And your buddy Steve was encouraging you. Oh, just tie it together. Oh, the boot buckle's broken. I don't need all 3 of them broken. So he put on gloves, broken gloves.
Yep.
Boot buckle, broken boot buckle. Chest or body plate thing, broken. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute.
The helmet visor was broken.
Oh, the helmet visor was broken. He had to tape it with duct tape. I'm like, oh man, his wife told me to make sure he's safe, but I can't come back and him not be safe. But I can't stop it either. So I never even told you about it. I'm sitting there looking at you going, oh, for the love of all that is holy, what is he about to do? Continue, because I'm going to interrupt you in a minute afterwards. Go ahead.
That's so funny. I forgot about all that.
Everything was broken.
Everything was broken.
Which tells me, by the way, you tested out the motorcycle, but you didn't look at your gear first.
Never looked at the gear. I actually, you didn't know this either, but typically I wear Under Armour, so it goes under the jersey. Instead of the one that I wore there was over the jersey. And why I do that is that it's not bouncing around. Like it's super tight to your body. And so when I went to put it on, it wouldn't go on because they cut it.
Oh.
So it wouldn't go back. I couldn't wear it because it had been cut. We'll talk about the reason why it was cut later story.
Yep.
So yeah, that was broken too. So I never checked the gear out. So, oh man, that's funny. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we get to the start line.
Wasn't lost on me.
Get the start line. Both the other 2 guys, I stepped down a class. I'm not gonna ride in the class that I used to. I'm just gonna take it easy, right? I intended to take it easy. So I get there on the start line. All the bikes are lined up. I forgot. I want to say there's probably about 30 bikes, 25 to 30 bikes on the start line.
In your wave. That was
in my wave. Just in my wave. There was like
your wave 4 or 5, right? Something like that.
I was wave 5, and there was like 12 waves of people. A lot of people. I mean, everything was full up. So This is a different type of event where it's cold start. So the bikes are off. When they say go, you fire it up and then you go. A lot can happen, right? You not get the bike started, you not put it in gear fast enough. All this stuff happens. So they say go. I get a decent start, get the bike started, put it in gear, and I'm gone. At Washougal, they have at the Pro Start, they have a long straightaway, and it goes to kind of a, not a sharp, but maybe a 70-degree left-hand turn. Then it kind of drops down a little bit of a decline, and then it makes a hard right-hand turn and up horsepower hill. To the first turn, I'm about fourth or fifth, somewhere right there. I look at the pictures, and I'm like, me and the other guy are side by side. At that moment, I'm like, hey, I'm in a decent place because I got 20-something other guys behind me. Not too bad because I'm a track guy. I know how to ride on track. So we get the first turn. I'm in fourth place. And I know that when you get to the next turn, you want to be up front going up Horsepower Hill because you get pelted by rocks, debris coming off the back tire. People are kind of tentative going into turn 2. I'm like, forget that. I'm like full send it all the way down.
I watched you. Your right leg was out, like balancing. You
It was, yeah.
It was like balancing. Like you're doing this little thing. You can't see me throwing my leg out. He's throwing his leg out here, balancing. The back end's
My
coming
leg
out
did not
around.
look like what Gene just described. If you
Okay,
can see the video,
It's my story.
Gene,
It's my story. I'm gonna tell it the way I want.
Gene looked like he had like dog poop stuck on his shoe and he's trying to shake it off. That's what it looked like. But yeah, there's a way that, how you stick your leg out to balance and then you go around the turn. So I tuck it tight and I pass the other guys and I'm in second place. As we're going up Horsepower Hill, you kind of go up and you kind of jump, you land, and then you go all the way up.
Yeah, hold on. I'm sorry. I get interrupt you again. So remember, I'm gonna take it easy. Those are the words.
I intended to.
I gotta get back into it. I gotta ease my way back into it. So I'm gonna drop down from expert into the next group, and then even further into the different run groups or whatever it would be. Yeah. I'm sitting there videoing this thing. And I positioned myself where I was on the exit of turn 2, or I'm sorry, exit of turn 1.
Yep.
And as I'm getting video, as these guys are coming through, because it's hard to figure out who's who, but I figured out who he was pretty quickly. And I look at him like, wow, he's pretty up there. He's in fourth place. By the time we got around turn 2, I'm like, he's in second. That is not taking it easy. And he goes flying up the hill. He's not taking it easy at all. Like, man, I'm going to get in trouble. His wife's going to be so mad at me. Like, I should have told him.
Man, I'm going up. So I'm going up the hill. I'm right behind this guy in front of me. My thoughts at that point, it shows you how quickly my mindset changed. I'm like, hey, I'm right on this guy. Like, if I just hang here, I'm going to do good. This is great. I'm going to do good today. Okay, it went just like that.
So that was the little devil on your shoulder.
That's
right
the
there.
devil on my shoulder, right? Head up the hill, and then so I'm following this guy at that point, so we get off the track. So this is different from my past where I was always racing motorcycles on the track. Now where we go off-road, like Gene did a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
and I'm following this guy for about 3 miles. The loops are about 8 miles, I think. So I was about 3 miles in, right on this guy's tail. He was holding me up, okay? I'm clearly faster than him, but it's tight technical. And so we get up there, and the other guys, the guys in the neighborhood, they had told me when you get in the woods, it's slicker than snot. And I didn't know what that meant. I mean, I've ridden in mud and slippery stuff. I didn't know what that meant. Holy cow. It was like riding on ice. It's just a weird consistency of mud and hard pack that's up in the woods. So I'm slip sliding. I'm losing control, traction, trying to move around. But this guy's holding me up. Now, again, I'm trying to take it easy. I should be just content hanging where I am because I got a guy that's just leading me. I just stay with this guy. That's all I should need to be doing. Mm-hmm. But that thing on my shoulder, like, he's holding you up.
You're faster.
I'm faster. I need to go around this guy. So there's few opportunities for you to go around. And when those present themselves, you take advantage of them if you want to. Well, I thought I would take advantage of it. So I tried. Well, that slicker than snot came into play when I tried to go around this guy. I go around the guy, but then the problem was I couldn't stop. I slid off of the trail. It was down a hill, but it's not like a mountain. It's like off the thing, and you're in the trees and the bramble and stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm trying to pull the bike. It took me probably 3 minutes the first time. 3 minutes to get the bike.
Note he said the first time. We'll come back to that later.
It took me about 3 minutes. And at this point, everybody's just, all these people that were behind me before, boom, 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 boom. They're all gone. Get back up. And so now I'm pissed because I was up front and now I just lost all these places. But again, I should be taking it easy. I go flat out again. More opportunities to pass, more opportunities to go off the track again. And I do. I go off, and this time the bike gets kind of wedged between two fallen trees. And so I can't like go forward. I have to literally pull the bike backwards to get back up. That takes a couple minutes again. This is not like 5 seconds you're back up. This is like manhandling, pulling a 200-pound vehicle back up. Now I'm really ticked because this is twice. All these people, so mad.
Now he's really taking it easy.
Now I'm really taking the way that this event works is that you'll go on the track, out to the trail, back on the track, out on the trail. So when I get back on the track, then I'm hauling. Like I'm passing people left and right because that's where my skill set is. So I pass all these people again. Then we go back in the trail. So now I'm probably mid to front of the pack. I haven't caught back up. I go off the track or the trail. I get the bike stuck in a position that I physically cannot get it pulled back, cannot pull the bike. Thankfully, one person stopped to help me. I mean, most people don't stop. Everybody's racing, right? So
Right.
You're going. This guy stopped. He had the same bike as I did.
If this was a pro race, they would have never
Oh,
stopped.
no
They'd be
one's
like,
ever
oh,
going to
cool.
stop. Yeah, on Sunday when they had the pros going, yeah, they wouldn't be stopping. This guy, he had the same bike as I did. So maybe he saw my bike and said, "Oh, there's a
Oh,
yeah." He felt sorry
how
for
cute.
me. Yeah. So he stopped and helped me, and it took both of us to get the bike unstuck.
Wow.
I couldn't have done it myself. So at this point, I'm exhausted. I'm physically exhausted. My arms are pumped. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. So now I'm like, okay, I'm just going to I'm not going to go for it. I'm just going to drive or ride. So I'm riding. I'm not going crazy, but I'm trying to catch up a little bit, but I'm being passed by multiple ways that were started behind me. So I'm kind of taking it easy, but when I get to big open sections, I'm trying to push a little bit, but not hard. The clutch that I had just bought on the bike 3 years ago is kind of like a breakaway. So it's a clutch that can't get broken. The way that the mechanism is, it can go forward or backwards and it won't break. Well, it has a set screw on it, and there must be like a nut that you put on it so you get it set where you want it, put the nut on it so it can't adjust. Well, the nut must have fallen off at some point because the screw backed itself all the way out. So when I pull the clutch in, it still kept going.
Oh,
So
no.
I'm going down the hill. At the bottom of the hill, it makes a hard right and then kind of goes back up. I pull in the clutch and the bike's not stopping. It's still going. And I'm like, it's not like it's going full speed, but it's not, I can't stop the bike. I put the brake on and the bike wanting to lug forward. And so I kill the bike again. And I'm like, what the heck? So I ran off the track because I couldn't stop. So I run off the trail again, fourth time.
Is that when you hit the tree head on?
That was when I hit the tree head
Okay.
on. I was like, I was low speed, so
Yeah.
no big deal. But I'm like, what is going on? And then I realized what happened. At that point, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done.
At that point, he got passed by an old lady with a granny walker.
Man. There was a motorcycle with a trailer behind it, and they went by me. So then I just kind of putzed. I literally just, at that point, took it easy. That was my first foray back into it. I had a lot of fun. It was a blast to get back. I missed the bike. I made my shift into the car world, so I'm not going to go back like I was full head into the bikes. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
I had a lot of fun. I have never been to one of those. I've been to lots of different races before, but I really enjoyed it. The folks there very much salt of the earth.
Yeah,
They're
super
very cool. Just the folks that we met, that I met. I know you've already known these people. Really nice people.
Yep.
And it was just one of those events that I thought, man, this is. Oddly enough, it reminded me a little bit of autocross. In autocross, you can go jump in someone's car and
Yeah.
start talking to them, and
Yep.
everyone talks to each other, and it was less. I don't want to say it wasn't structured because obviously it's a race; it's very structured, but it appeared less
Yeah.
structured.
Yeah.
It just appeared like, hey, it's a bunch of us going to get together.
Yeah.
Let's go
It was
race.
very laid back.
Yeah, very much, very, very laid back. It was a lot of fun. And while I was trying to follow Dan, so I had a couple good vantage points for taking pictures and video. I caught him on 2 laps. I was able to wait around. Okay, where's that blue bike? Finally, I caught him twice. On the third time, when I thought, okay, he should be coming around for his last lap, I never found him. And at some point, I'm standing here on top of this stand that was probably 15 feet up in the air, overlooking the turn 2 as you go up
Oh,
horsepower
okay.
hill. Yeah. I'm waiting. At some point, I'm like, there's hardly any bikes. Now they're trickling in. People are walking away. I'm the only person here. I'm leaving. I don't know where he's at. Maybe he's in the woods somewhere. I'm going back to the truck. Because I had the car, I had the keys.
You had the keys.
And by the time I get there, not only is he there, the bike's already up in the back of the truck. So I loaded it up. Like, I had no idea where he was. And I found him later on. He's like, oh, I was wondering where you were.
You know what's so funny about that is that I get back to the truck. First thing I do is I load the bike up immediately because I'll be tired later. So I get the bike loaded up, and then I go talk to the other people. My neighbors that are parked next to us. I go and talk to them and how they went. That guy's daughter. Oh yeah, you knew that.
Yeah.
She got the whole shot and won.
Yep.
She won some gear.
Yep.
So I'm over talking to him, and I keep looking for you. And I even told them, I'm like, you know what? I never told him what the protocol of the race is. So he's probably still up there, not knowing that he should have already come back. I was there for maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And so I felt bad. I'm like, oh man, I didn't. And my phone is in the truck, and I don't have the car keys to get in the truck, so I couldn't call him. And I was like, oh man, I totally forgot about the protocol to tell Gene. But I do. Right. I honestly, I appreciate you going down. It was cool to have. I mean, it's always good to have someone with you, but good conversation on the way down and back. And so it was cool. Thanks. I do appreciate you going down.
Yeah, bro, that was a lot of fun. I went to go down there alone, and I had the day.
Yeah.
My wife was doing something with some of her girlfriends, so it just made sense. Let me go down, learn something new, and go down, spend some time with you.
Yeah, I know my wife appreciated having someone down there.
Not that I kept you from doing what you were ultimately going to do.
What I said I wasn't going to do.
Yeah.
But anyway, all good. Okay, so that was good though. We had some good stories there.
Oh, absolutely, that's fun.
Okay, so we have a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. Maybe some not the best decision with a vehicle at the time. Like you make a decision to do something. At the time, it seems like, oh, it's a good idea. But afterwards, you're like, oh, man, that was really bonehead, like really bad. Okay, I'll start out.
Yep.
Give you time to think.
Oh, I have one.
Okay, I've got two. The first one, in the military, I don't remember. I've gone back and forth from Fort Benning, Fort Gordon, up to Fort Lewis several times, driven across country multiple times. So this one time, I think it was my first time. So I was coming from Fort Benning, just graduated Benning, and I'm coming up to Fort Lewis, and I'm driving. I was driving a 1992 Honda Accord two-door coupe. Pretty nice car. Mm-hmm. Wasted way too much money on a stereo system.
We all do.
Yeah, as we all do. Back then they didn't even have leather seats. They came with cloth seats. Mm-hmm. I sent it out to a upholsterer to get the seats converted to leather.
Why does that not surprise me?
But man, they were comfy. So anyway, I'm driving cross country and I'm in Wyoming. I used to know the exit. Went up and over. Yep, went up and over. I forgot what exit number, but the exit number does matter. I'll tell you in a minute. So I forgot what time of year, but it was a time of year where it's snowing and ice and that kind of stuff. So I'm driving on, I don't even know what interstate, what goes through there. Does 90 go all the way?
Goes through there,
90?
Yeah.
So,
90
okay, I guess I'm on 90. It wasn't snowing at the time, but it was super cold, really cold. So a lot of ice and slush on the road. So, you're getting passed by 18-wheelers and they're throwing, that crap on you.
Yep.
Okay. So my windshield is filled. What do you do to clean your windshield?
Don't tell me you sprayed it. He sprayed it.
I sprayed my windshield to clean it. As soon as I did it, I'm like,
iced up.
Oh my, I was scared. I was scared because I'm going on an interstate at, I don't know, more than 50 miles an hour. I don't know what speed, but more than 50, 18-wheelers all around me, and I immediately have frozen windshield.
Yep.
I was freaked out. What do? I hope to goodness there's nothing on the shoulder because I just blindly pull off the interstate and judge to where I think I'm off the interstate and come to a stop. It scared the living crap out of me.
Oh, yeah.
I get out of the car, 18-wheelers just flying by. I'm getting crap thrown because I'm right off the shoulder, still getting crap thrown on me. I get out of the car, and I'm like, oh, my gosh. I was a little bit panicked. I get a scraper. I scrape my windshield that I just froze. I scrape it. I get back in the car. I pull further off the interstate, get the heater cranked up, get the windshield clear, and then I get back on the road. That happened at whatever that exit was. Fast forward to 3 years later, I go to Fort Gordon, doing some training at Fort Gordon. I'm now coming back to Fort Lewis. Exact same route, same time of year, or roughly.
Why would you drive that?
There was a reason. I don't know. There was a reason why.
All right.
I don't know. That was a long time ago.
Military could have flown you.
I want to have my car, right? So
Okay.
you have to, if you want your car, you got to drive it. So I want my car because I'm there at TDY for like 16 weeks. I was doing like anyway. I want to have my car, so I had to drive it. So
Yep, got it.
I'm going back. I'm in Wyoming. The exact same exit. It's pouring snow at this point. Heavy snow. So I get off the same exit that I had frozen my windshield last time. There's a motel or hotel, and so it's super heavy. So I'm like, I'm just going to spend the night. Now, the Army gives you, I think that distance, they give you 7 days to make the trip from end to end. So I usually try to make it in 3 days. Then I've got 4 days on the end just as free time. So I'm like, well, I've got extra days. I'll just go ahead and spend the night here. They had like 5 feet of snow. My car is completely covered in snow. I couldn't move it. Like it was buried. The car was buried all the way up to the roof.
Oh my
in
God.
snow. So I was stuck there for 2 days on the exact same exit that I had done the thing before. So I have one more stupid story, and then I'll pass the baton. I shouldn't even be saying this type of stuff.
Oh no, I like the ammunition. Continue.
Oh man. Okay, so I'm stationed at Fort Lewis. I'm living out the back gate in Spanaway at the time, and I don't know if I'm married or if I'm dating. One of us is doing staff duty. So we're having to you have to pull a shift where you're checking the barracks and taking the phone, all that type of stuff. So I'm pulling staff duty, or she is. I don't remember. They had the back gate closed. In order to get from Lewis to Spanaway with the back gate closed adds like another 45 minutes to your trip. Whereas if you go to the back gate, it's super short to our house or to my apartment. I forget if we're married or dating. So out the back gate, there's a railroad track that goes through Fort Lewis. When the gate's closed, it looks like you could go between the railroad track and the fence. I'm like, you know what? I don't have time. I was running late. I'm like, I think I can squeeze through here. I don't want to spend the time to go all the way around. I think I can squeeze through here.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh no.
I'm in a pickup truck. A little pickup truck. Try to go there. I can't go there. I'm getting stuck. I can't do it. So the wise thing to do at that point would be to turn around and go out the front gate. What do you think? I think maybe I can
turned around and backed out.
Maybe I could go over the railroad track. Oh man.
What?
Yeah, I'm thinking instead of trying to go beside fence and the railroad track, go in that little space, I think, what if I just take one of the tires, go up over one of the rails, make a pivot, then go back up over it, and then I'm out, right? What I didn't think about is that this isn't a 4-wheel drive truck. This is a little small 2-wheel drive truck. Mm-hmm. The railroad tracks, they're elevated. They're not flat. It's kind of built up on like a berm, yep. Right? When I go up and I try to go over, I lose traction at that point. My truck gets stuck. One wheel over the railroad track. I'm stuck. Can't go forward, can't go back. I had that panic attack like I had my frozen windshield because I'm like, trains come through here.
Yep.
That train is not going to stop. My truck is going to be gone, and then I'm going to be in some serious
That's
trouble.
Staff level.
Oh, I'm in big trouble. Big trouble. I'm freaked out at this point. I don't even know what to do. Like, who do I call? I can't call the wrecking company. Like, what am I going to do? And I'm stuck on, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I'm standing there. I just start walking back towards Spanaway. Okay, I'm just on the street. It's the gate's locked, so I'm just walking. And here's some good old boys out in the middle. Who knows what they were out doing, but they're out there. And they're like, hey, what are you doing out here? Just good old boys. My truck's stuck. And they're like, oh, you need some help? I'm like, yeah, I do. And they're like, hey, we'll help you out. This guy, they have some toe straps or something. They're on one side of the fence. I'm on the other. So they take their toe strap. They pull me up over the railroad track, back down the railroad track, and then back over the gate.
Man, that's some good old boy engineering right there, man. You love that.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
Got my truck back, and I never, ever did anything like that.
No. Just no.
Oh, my gosh.
Did they make fun of you for being stupid? They
You
should
know,
have.
I know they said some stuff about what in the world were you thinking. I don't remember that was, I don't
Yeah,
remember.
it's a
But
minute ago.
they were definitely making fun of me, deservedly so.
Yep.
That was a really bad lapse of judgment, and I feel bad even saying it out loud because of how stupid that was. But anyway, those are some of my bad decisions.
Those are good ones. I like it. I like it. So I'll use an army story. So when I was when I left Croatia back in '93, I was there for like 6-7 months. I had some money. I went out and bought a 1984 blue Toyota Camry, Euro spec, well, I don't know if it was fast. I would drive that thing on the autobahn to work every day at 125 miles an hour, no problem. That thing just cruised like nothing. It was awesome.
I didn't know they
little
sold
car.
Camrys in Europe.
Yeah. It was an awesome little car. But it didn't have the good stereo system, so I put a better stereo system
Of course.
in. Yes. And I have a whole story about that thing getting broken into.
Ball punk, or what'd you put in?
What did I put in there? No, I can't remember what I put in
okay.
there. Yeah, I can't. Oh, no, I do remember. It was a Pioneer. It was a Pioneer cassette with a Pioneer EQ and 6x9s in the back,
Yep.
subwoofer,
Yep.
and some mids up front.
At the PX?
Yeah.
Yep.
Of course. Yeah. Everything. Okay. So everything. I went on vacation for a month after my buddy Kelly and we installed all this in the parking lot of my barracks, and it sounded great. It was really good. I had a couple of subwoofers. I had a JBL 10-inch, and then another one I'd found somewhere. We built a box for it at the local woodworking shop on Ramstein Air Base, and it sounded great. We were proud of ourselves. I lent my car to my roommate while I came home for a month. Yeah, it got broken into, and all that stuff was stolen a month later. Now I found out it was his friend, so I'm not going to say I beat up my roommate because that wouldn't be the right thing to do. I'm just going to say that when I found out it was his friend, we had a discussion, and a day later he moved out and never called EMP. So yeah, that was, but bad story. Still same car. I had the timing belt blew off one day. Okay. So and my buddy Kelly was in the car, Sergeant Adams was in the car, and my buddy Brian was in it. And it blew off while we're on the interstate on the Autobahn. So we ended up walking back to the barracks like 4 miles away. We got in that Sergeant Adams Jeep. We got some tow straps, and he pulled me. We strapped it up, and he pulled me to Capone Air Base, 4 or 5 miles away, on the Autobahn.
Oh my gosh.
Pulled me. Yeah. No radios, no phones. Just I'm like, hey, I'm going to flash the brakes when I'm going to start stopping. I mean, it worked out great. Talk about some engineering. We did some, quality military engineering there.
Can you tow on the Autobahn?
No, we're not supposed to do that. Are you kidding? No way.
Like
we
what?
did it anyways, and it worked out well. So here's the thing: I ordered the parts from the base auto supply store, and it was like $250. I'm a private. I've got three. I'm a PFC, so I don't have any money.
Yep.
So $250 back then was a lot of money for a
Yep.
private. So we took it to the craft shop. I never touched that kind of motor before. I'm a diesel kind of guy. But, I figured out what I needed to do, made sure all the timing marks aligned, put the belt on, fired right up, no problem. I didn't check anything else. I didn't check to see what caused the belt to break. This is going to come into play later. I just saw the belt broke, so I replaced the belt.
I would probably do the same thing if my belt broke. If the belt was old, I probably would just replace the belt.
Yeah. So
It makes sense.
That's what I did, but I should have looked because the reason it broke was pretty obvious.
Oh, man.
Because less than 2 miles later,
Oh my gosh.
it broke again.
Oh my god.
So I had to get pulled right back to where I was at the Autocraft shop on Capone Air Base.
Oh my
I
god.
ordered more, and then I looked at it. I'm like, what in the heck happened? This thing runs great. You know what it was? It was the idler pulley
Yep.
that creates the tension.
Yep.
Or the tensioner pulley was frozen, and the idler pulley as well. Both of them were frozen. They had just died. So the heat had made the belt break.
Just
So
burned through.
I never. I mean, as a mechanic, I should have. That's one of the first things I should have thought of was, why didn't I look at that? So that was another. Now that ended up like $350 or something like that. So in 2 weeks, and it just sat there at the Autocraft shop. Which I lived on the place where I worked, so it's not a big deal. But man, that was an expensive lesson to learn. If your belt breaks, take a look and see why it broke.
Did they have the part in stock?
No, they had to order them, so it took weeks. The thing was down for the better part of a month.
So the first time they had to order it,
Uh-huh.
and then the next time they
Had to order
2
it
hours
again.
later you had. Oh my gosh!
I was so pissed. Man.
I would have done the same thing though. I would
Yeah.
have, but now that you said that, I'll be mindful in the future to
Mhm.
check to make sure that everything is there's rotation.
Of all the componentry.
Oh my gosh!
So that's story one. Story two I'll do is a quick one as well. So I've said before, the girlfriend I had in high school, her grandfather gave me a 1972 Chevy Stepside.
Oh,
This is the one I was talking about in a previous episode.
Yep. I like.
Well, when I graduated high school, I pulled the motor out. This is the bad decision. I had some money. Instead of like investing in it or saving it, I'm going to spend it.
No
Yeah.
one's going to save money back then.
The straight 6 and 3-spin on the tree. No, I wanted something faster. My buddies had like Chevelles and Novas, and their cars are pulling wheelies. And I've got this cool truck, by the way,
Yeah.
which everyone loved. I decided, well, I'm going to go buy a motor, and they're like, well, my friend has a 350. So I bought a 350 from a local speed shop that had been in a Camaro. Come to find out, it wasn't a 350; it was a 383. So it nice. It had a 400 crank, and it was bored over, and it had a nice thumper cam in it. It
Okay.
sounded really good. So we put the 383 in, put the 350 in, and it just never ran right. Carburetor never worked right. And at the time, I hadn't gone to mechanic school, and I thought, well, I can figure this thing out. I drove it for a while. It never ran perfectly right, but I still ran it.
And they didn't have certified YouTube mechanic.
No
back then.
certified. Yeah, Chris Fix was not a thing back then. And I ran it. I had a lot of fun, racing it on the streets, even though it didn't really run as good as it should have. It was, I think at this point, it was definitely the timing wasn't right, and the carburetor needed a big rebuild for sure. But it ran enough that I could have some fun with it and eat a lot of gas. Well, one day I decided, well, I'm gonna take this thing apart and see if I can figure it out. I didn't know what I was doing. I took off the carburetor. I took off the intake.
He's just taking bolts
I
apart.
was taking stuff apart. Like, what am I doing? I don't know what I was doing. And I was going to go
You
in
don't
the
even
military.
know even if you uncovered it, you probably wouldn't even know what was.
I know.
Right?
I had no idea what I was doing. I'm like, I just want to take it apart and see. I could always put it back together. Yeah, I never put it back together.
Oh.
I went in the military, and I was in AIT in Edgewood, Maryland, going to mechanic school, and I just decided, you know what? It's still sitting there. Now I got an idea of what's wrong with it. Sell it. So I told my parents to sell it. They sold it. This is the 1969 Camaro of the truck world. This
Yep.
thing was awesome. Sold it for $500.
Oh my gosh!
$500. I want to find that truck again one day. I would love to
That was
buy
a
it
bad
back. It's such a
decision.
great truck, but it's such a bad decision. I can't believe I did that. I'm stupid.
You did that because why did you decide to sell it?
Because I don't really know actually. I don't really know. It was sitting in my parents' yard. I'm like, well, I don't need money, but it's always good to have some money. So I just said, sell it. I don't need it right now. I'll figure out something later on.
Man.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking. I had no forethought.
What were you
Stupid.
driving at the time?
I was in the Army, so I had nothing.
Oh, you had nothing at that
Yeah, I
time.
had nothing. And then I had told in my orders in the Army, it said,
Oh yeah, you're AIT. So.
no Europe duty. So I signed up for stateside duty only, at least my first tour. When I got my orders said Europe. I told my commander, I said, sir, my orders when I came in said stateside duty only. And he said, you got a girlfriend? I'm like, I got something like one. I don't know if she is or not. He's like, do me a favor, call her up, find out if she's going to wait for you. It's a weird question to ask.
No kidding.
So I called her up, and he said, come see me on Monday morning. Okay. And we played volleyball on the same team together. So he said, come see me Monday morning. So I called her up, and I said to this person, you going to wait for me if I go to Europe or anything? She said, no, probably not. So I called him. I went to his office on Monday morning and said, sir, I'm good to go. I'll go wherever you send me. I made the call. She's out waiting. He said, good, get out. Yes, sir.
Wise
You know
man
what?
he was.
Very wise man. I was not the first guy.
Clearly.
Yeah, I'm not the first buck private
Yep.
to go, I got a girlfriend.
I know.
I wanna go.
Oh my gosh. Yep. Because you're all of what, like 19?
19 and stupid.
Yep.
Man.
Oh my gosh.
That's my story. Sticking to it.
Those are pretty good, man. Those are pretty good. All right. Well, I guess that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Till next time.
Till next time.